Today we will hear from our science and math departments as they spotlight again that extracurricular and the extracurricular activities and curricular offerings. I think that you will find that their problems always have solutions and that they do have chemistry. Get it? Without further ado, Dr. Abrams and Mr. Summey.
I know Dr. Montgomery can agree, the kids, parents, that science department is the best department in the school, right?
We're all agreeing to that?
So math's right, you're right next to it. So in science, I think everybody has taken science, but you might remember some facts, but the skills that you learn in science, I know when my kids who are in this district, when they go through here, this is what I really want them to remember. I want them to be able to analyze, interpret data, et cetera, make experiments, look at different problems and solve, but the content does matter. And our students are great and our teachers are great and they're dedicated. It's the best group of people I've been around. They're here in the morning, setting up labs early, staying after school, setting up labs, and meeting with students all throughout the day. So without further ado, let's get some students up here and we'll talk about the different after-school activities that we have. Environmental Club. You're all right.
Hi everyone, my name is Kate Johnson. I'm a senior at Lake Forest and I'm representing Environmental Club. I've been involved in Environmental Club for all 4 years. Last year I was the vice president and this year I'm president. Environmental Club is all about raising awareness about sustainability in the school and the community. This year we've made our most strides that I can remember in my time at Lake Forest. We've worked with various members of staff to kind of incorporate sustainability into the lunchroom. You can see that with our reusable aluminum water bottles, which are infinitely recyclable, and our boxed water. And this is an effort to replace any plastic water bottles in the building, although we know that that will be a gradual change. And we've also gotten more vegetarian options in the lunchroom, not only for healthier options, but to accommodate any students who may be vegan or vegetarian. This week, we're starting to sell our Valentine's Day candygrams, and that'll be helping to send out Valentine's Day with cute little environmentally sustainable and raising awareness for the environment through that. And looking forward, we hope to incorporate more sustainability into the building, whether that's with a more advanced recycling program or maybe possibly in the future any solar panels for the building. Yeah, that's kind of my spiel.
Thank you. Oh, there we go. Next we have Science Olympiad. Ms. Kopecki.
Hi, I'm Lena Kopecki, one of the Science Olympiad sponsors. My student volunteer couldn't make it, unfortunately, tonight. But just in regards to Science Olympiad, we're a STEM competition, both national and state levels. And we do different events. It sounds kind of boring that they're study events, but there's actually building events as well. And they're always within teams and groups of 2 usually. And so we cover all the basics. So we've got life science, earth science, a little bit of physical science, and technology and engineering. So we had our first invite on January 28th. So the picture that you're seeing is a balsa bridge that was built. It's only with balsa wood with just some glue, and then you have to test how much it can hold. So it held 13 kilograms, and that's 28 pounds for just a little wood bridge, if you think about that, which is very impressive. And then we compete in other study events too. So out of 47 teams, we actually scored second in forensics, which is amazing. So we meet weekly on Thursdays, and we have our next competition this weekend at Loyola Academy. So thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Robotics.
Hi, I'm Sydney Karajas, and I am a junior.
And I'm Evan, I'm also a junior as well.
We are this year's robotics co-captains, and this is our robots. So each year, robotics, we work to complete a different challenge, and this year's challenge, which you can see in some of the pictures, was to take cones and stack them on top of different height poles or low junctions, and we compete with different teams across Illinois, different high schools, different organizations, And yeah, we have a ton of fun just building. We have a really great team, and we make sure that we try to teach everybody everything we can, and no experience is needed, which is honestly one of the really cool things about it. It's all building, design, marketing, and programming. But yeah, anything else?
I mean, there's also a club aspect as well. I mean, it's not just a team, but I mean, kids that come there, I mean, people have their own interests. I mean, if they have an interest with, their own projects, whether it be electrical or something physical, they can come to club, and members of the team like myself, or anybody else there that has experience can help them solder, do anything that they need to do. Because, I mean, we share that interest, and we want to help as many people as they can. So it's not just a competitive team, but it's also a club aspect as well.
Yeah, and then these photos are from some of our last competitions. This one here was actually right after we set our new record, which was a really fun moment because we were not expecting to do that. But yeah, those are just photos from throughout some of our past competitions.
Well, I don't know if I can stand up here and say that I agree with Dr. Abrams that the science department is the best department, but I can tell you that there are two main things that I really wanted to make sure I hit on tonight, and that for each of our course offerings that we have in our department, as Dr. Lennar kind of was alluding to in terms of staffing, we have created courses that we feel like meet the needs of each of our learners. And so we feel like the goal is to provide coursework that can take any student that comes into our building and give them 4 years to grow. And I think that many of what you see here reflects the values and the interests that our students have, and it has shaped their course offerings, but as well as the clubs and activities that they've chosen to engage in. And so rather than have me stand up here and tell you about all of this, I think it's probably better to hear it best from the teachers and the students that are involved in each of these things. They're going to share a little bit about some of these programs. So Dr. Aronson, you want to share a little bit about this?
Hi, I'm a computer science teacher. We have 5 different computer science classes. We have AP Computer Science Principles, which is an intro to digital thinking with programming and data and the internet. Then we have AP Computer Science A, which is college programming in Java, basically a semester of college credit. Then we have, and this is where we distinguish ourselves, we have a year after that, which is called Advanced Computer Science Honors, which is basically a data structures and algorithms class that you would take in college. And then we even further, much different than a lot of other high schools, we have a year after that, which is writing advanced apps. And then even next year, we have a year after that, which is a 4th year, which is going to be studying like AI and neural networks and things like that. So we really distinguish ourselves from a lot of other high schools who maybe have principles in AP Computer Science A. Now, the 3rd year class wrote apps first semester, and they entered them into the Congressional App Challenge, which is judged by Brad Schneider, and we had the winning team and 2 runners-ups. So we basically came in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So we have the winning team here, which is, they'll describe the...
Hi, I'm Connor Cafelda,
I'm Ashley Kime.
and we are this year's winners of the Congressional App Challenge with our app, Negative Headspace. Now, we believe that everyone in the world has the capacity to do good, but they don't necessarily know how to go about it. We're lucky to have a community that emphasizes the importance of activism and volunteering, and we're constantly provided with opportunities, but that isn't true everywhere, so we want to go beyond the scope of the North Shore. We created our app with the goal of bringing attention to problems throughout the world and informing our users as to what they can do to make a difference.
In order to reach a wider audience, we wanted to write this app for your phone. To do this, we had to learn an entirely new coding language, Swift, along with a database known as SQLite. Our app pulls information from the database and provides an intuitive interface that allows the user to view a random topic, sort by category, or sort by severity. Each topic contains a thumbnail, a description of the issue, sources, and what can be done to help. We hope that our app can make a positive impact around the world. Thank you very much.
Up next, I'd like to invite Kate and Laurel. You want to share a little bit about Women in STEM? Yeah.
I'm back. Hi. I'm the president of Women in STEM, and I have been since my junior year. I've been involved with Women in STEM for 3 years of high school, and it's all about connecting young girls together who share their interests in math, science, engineering, anything in the world of STEM. And through this, we do a lot of hands-on activities. So recently, we just went out to a creek last fall-ish, and we collected water and we looked at the microbiome under a microscope. And we've also done outreach in the community at Beacon Place, where we got young children involved in STEM and really passionate and excited about genetics, and we did that by extracting the DNA from strawberries. And we just do a lot of activities to try to connect girls with each other so they can kind of share their passions for that. We also invite members of the community to talk, and those are professionals who have experience in STEM. Kind of a motto of our club is you cannot be what you cannot see, so we want to provide girls with that leadership and that kind of path forward in different areas of STEM to see what's possible and what they can achieve. I actually met Laurel at Women in STEM Club, and we got involved in the science fair, and I know that kind of relates to science, but we wanted to talk a little bit about our experience with that and the club that we've founded.
Yeah, so we don't have a particular slide for this, but we wanted to talk a little bit about our competition science fair team, which is just starting this year. Kate and I competed in the IJAS State Science Fair last year, and after seeing how many nearby schools had big teams of like 30 or 50 competitors, we wanted to bring a little bit of that back to Lake Forest. So we've been starting a club this year where students can come, and topics can range from mathematics and engineering, computer science, statistics, to like experiments with chemistry and biology. It's a really cool opportunity for students to do different science projects that they're interested in, and we're really trying to get more students and faculty involved with that for next year.
Yeah, so that's that. Thank you.
Well, I think you might want to just stay up here the rest of the night. I don't know. Math team, Mr. Goldstein, Sid, you want to come on up and share a little bit?
Sure. Okay, math team is kind of a misnomer because there's really 9 different contests that the 25 to 30 kids engage in. And just to point out one simple fact, our season starts the second week of August and it ends the middle of May, which I think makes us a 3-season sport. Just pointing that out. So we have a freshman team, a sophomore team, a junior team, a senior team, a team of 2 oralists. We have a 2-person team. We have an 8-person team. We have a candy bar competition. We have a calculator competition. So we, the 4 coaches, we train the kids in all these different contests, and it's kind of like a track and field event when you go to one of these because they participate in different levels. And they're not only doing math for accuracy, they're also doing it for speed, which for some of you might be your worst nightmare. So we're training them to think quickly, think creatively and critically, and also to have a lot of fun. So again, it's something that they do all 4 years. And just a historical note, Mr. Aronson and I were both on math team. So kids who really enjoy math team may end up here in 20 years telling you about math team in the future. So I'll let them talk about it because they can probably do a better job than I can. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up? I'm Sid. I'm a senior in math team. This is my 4th year in math team, and I'm one of the oralists. And Mr. Goldstein is actually the coach, so he's taught me a lot about how to, be one of the oralists for math team, I think. And so at math team, basically it's separated into 4 levels, as Mr. Goldstein said, and each grade gets to meet with each other, so you're not with different grades, you're just with your own grade. And what I found working, with like Laurel and Kate in math team is that you get to, like a really collaborative environment doing math. It's not just like sit down, take a math test after school. It's, work together and try to learn how to solve like unique questions, which I've really liked in math team. So that's what I took out of math team.
Wait, Sid, can you tell us what does that mean that you're the oralist?
Yeah. So what happens at meets is me and eventually in some of the other meets I'll have a partner, is I am given like 3 questions to solve, and I'm given like 15 minutes to solve these questions. And then after those 15 minutes, I'm taken into a room with judges, and I have to present my solutions to these questions. And it is definitely stressful. I've had to make up a lot of math while presenting. Mr. Goldstein might recount an example where I proved that 100 is equal to 100. But it's very fun, and it's definitely a unique way to approach math. So, yeah, that's what it means to be an Orlos.
I think Sid and Mr. Goldstein pretty much covered all of it, but I would say that math team, I've done slightly different competitions from Sid, and I agree that it is definitely really collaborative, really fun to work as a group together. We're actually preparing for regionals now. That'll be in, I think, 3 weeks. And then state after that. So we have some big events coming up, but the teachers are doing a great job of preparing us, and everyone's collaborating really well. So yeah.
All right, so when I said that Laura was going to be up here the rest of the night, this is kind of what I'm getting at. So one of the many experiences that we participate in at Lake Forest that we provide our students for mathematics is participation in the America's Mathematics Competition. So every year we have many students who seek to sit for an exam, to take a math test, to prove their mettle, to see how well they stack up across the entire nation. And about 5% of the people who sit for that exam qualify for the American Invitational Mathematics exam. And Laurel was our lone qualifier. So, yeah. Now, she's still standing, which is a testament to her perseverance and just her sheer stamina, because she sat for that today. So she went to class, and then she went for a 3-hour exam, and then she came here to tell all of you about her love of math and science. So, Laurel, do you want to share a little bit about the experience? Just don't share any of the answers, because remember, not until tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually think that this is, I would say that math team and these AMC tests are kind of fun problems. They're definitely really hard, and today sitting for that 3-hour test was really difficult, but they're definitely really interesting, make you think kind of problems. And I've done the AMC all 4 years at Lake Forest. This was the first year that I qualified for the AIME one. But I think it's a really great opportunity. I hope that students continue to get involved with it every year, because I think that they're kind of fun, and it's definitely difficult, but I think it's a really good opportunity, and it was just really exciting to qualify. So I hope that people continue to do it and get that opportunity.
Thanks, Laurel.
Congratulations.
The last program I wanted to shine a little light on is a program called Strategic Math, but as I've said throughout the evening, I think it's probably better to hear this from the perspective of students and from the teachers in that space. So I think I pressed this, not this one?
Hit the play. Hit the move next.
This guy?
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
In math, I used to feel like I was really struggling.
I hated math. I did terrible on it. I found it hard, confusing.
Math was a real challenge for me. I was failing.
Well, I've always had a lot of trouble with math.
So what is Strategic Math? Strategic Math 1 and Strategic Math 2 are classes that are to be taken with Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, respectively.
Our students engage and work parallel to the learning targets of their algebra course. We designed the strategic math work to draw student attention to mathematical structures, regularity, and repeated reasoning.
The most important thing that we do is give the students the confidence they need to be successful. A number of our students come into class with preconceived notions that they are not great at math, or tell us how much they dislike math. It's our goal to change their mindset by the time they exit the course.
In strategic math, we examine the structure of problems.
Work is structured in a way that I see the patterns better.
Your method way, like, that it's not always the answer.
So now that I see like structures of certain problems, that can like help me learn different problems and help me learn more, so I can do harder problems. Try to break it down, because that's what my teachers taught me to do.
In strategic math, we work on worksheets that are separated into different sections so that we can work on the problems part by part. When I'm given a problem I've not seen before, I have a plan of attack.
When I see a complicated problem, I just stop and think about it for a second, and usually I just go for it.
I'm starting to understand that the math actually makes sense. I think I'm actually like enjoying math now.
Well, the class is really relaxed, but also hard workers. We help each other if we need help from one another.
I'm not really like afraid to not understand things in your class, because
everyone's like friends with each other in that class, and we all talk to each other. And like if we want to be left alone, we'll leave each other alone.
We have a good amount of independence in how we engage in the work.
In Algebra 2, like, I find the math like very Actually very enjoyable. Like, I understand it more.
Yeah, I'm very proud. I think I've been doing very well. My overall understanding of math.
I'm proud of my grades these days.
Now I feel more confident in my work and I've been getting better grades and I just got an A- on my last test. And I'm really proud of what I can do.
I feel like I've grown a lot.
I am very proud of myself of where I am right now.
So strategic math is a little bit of a reflection of a specific course that was designed to help get the students where they needed to be. And so you can see from our coursework, from our clubs, our activities, our national contests and challenges that we're not only participating in but winning. We are accomplishing many great things in the mathematics department as well as the science department, and I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to present tonight, to share a little bit about this with each of you. And I personally will tell you that our math department is excited about the things that they're exploring and investigating, and we look forward to being able to come back and share how this is going to evolve for our students in the future. So, thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. It's so interesting for us to be able to hear directly from our instructional directors, and thank you for bringing the students.